Okay, now here's version 1. And remember that throat diameter, maybe 2.5, 2.5. I'll have to look. But you can see there's definitely microbubbles here too. However, there's a little coagulation on the top. And it's cranking it out, and I don't know if you can see down in there. So what I'm going to do, and I can see that you're getting some big bubbles coalescing. But you're also getting a lot of small microbubbles coming way out. So I know it's oxygenating the water to some degree. But let me see if I can even make those finer with this valve. Okay, I was able to tighten it just a bit. And I don't know if you can see in there, but there's some pretty tiny bubbles, and there's way less coagulation of the bubbles, I believe. It seems like it's sputtering a little bit. Maybe it's just at the bottom. Let's put it in the fish tank and compare. Okay, version 1 back in the fish tank. I'm going to turn down the, you still get small bubbles, but come on, it's not even close to version 2. So, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to turn it down because it's kind of wide open still. Yeah, version 1, when you turn it down, you do get smaller bubbles out in the periphery, especially here, but they're still coalescing, and I almost think that they start sputtering if you turn it down too much. You know, you don't get smooth airflow. I mean, I don't know about the volume of air, but as I turn this farther down with my finger here, as I try to, I don't know if you can see that. I'm getting smaller bubbles, but they're not the size of version 2. Keep trying to turn this a little more to get smaller yet, but I think it just starts sputtering. Oh, very good jet coming out. I'm not able to get smaller bubbles in that. I just put some fresh tape on too. I'm trying down with my finger all the way off here almost. Keep going farther down, it's starting to sputter. It's sputtering, you see. Wow. From this angle of the sun, you can kind of get a good look. It's hard to see, but this is version 1. And notice that the bubbles are so tiny that I think they stick to the inside of the valve, unfortunately. And you have to shake it. It's just crazy, because now they're coalescing inside there. Watch this. Why we shouldn't have to do that. But I have to say the bubble size is so tiny. Absolutely no coalescing up top. I suppose I could try to open up a little more air and just see. Yeah, I think I went overboard. Let me shut it down a little more. Okay, back to microbubbles, but you can see it sputtering. You can almost get it consistent. Maybe they are consistent, we just can't see it. It's a little bit sputtering to me. See what I mean? We certainly have tons of microbubbles. I don't see any on the surface. I see a lot of suspended bubbles. I'm not sure how it goes all day long like that, but I think it's sputtering, so I don't think there's good laminar flow. That's why I'm looking forward to version 2. Trying that. All right guys, it's been a few days since we've been using this version 1, and I wanted to give you an update. Here's a little cucumber growing in this tank. I haven't had a chance to put fertilizer in this tank. I've been too busy playing around with Venturi valves, but I just wanted to show you, you know, the roots kind of hang down here, but then when I open it up, you can see that Venturi cranking away. V1, it works, it's put into service. And we're getting small bubbles way out in the periphery. I'm going to just show you the valve here. This is the air intake valve that goes down to the air intake. And I just want to show you what happens if you open it. Get some big. The thing is, we're trying to get micro bubbles, right? We think that's superior to big bubbles. I mean, when you look in a fish tank and you get big bubbles like that, that's great. You can see right through the water. It's nice and clear. But we're trying to shoot for microbubbles, which kind of make the water saturated with dissolved oxygen, and it's going to look cloudy and white, and you wouldn't want that in a fish tank because you wouldn't be able to see your fish. But in hydroponics, we don't care. We want to get microbubbles. So I'm happy with this. I mean, look at all these tiny bubbles on the periphery, but the sign that they're all coalescing on top and popping like that tells me that they're really not microbubbles. I mean, sure, some of these are, and they're below a millimeter in size, so they are technically microbubbles, but I like to get them even finer. So I'm going to turn this down. The key, as we will mention in other videos, is that the air intake is the main factor, I believe, that controls the size of the bubbles. Sure, the velocity through there, the narrowing in the throat controls it too, and if you have no flow because the hole's so darn small, you're probably not going to have very effective production of bubbles, of course. But I think if you had to weigh the two, the throat inner diameter versus the inner diameter of the valve, or the stem down there where the tubing hooks into for the airflow, that's probably the main factor that controls the size of the bubbles. So let's turn it down just a little bit one more time. Uh-oh, I stopped it. See that, whoops, here it comes, starting to sputter a little bit. This homemade valve has a piece of silicone wire encasing in there. It's kind of homemade, jerry-rigged, and just a fine threaded eye hook type thing that I've kind of twisted into the silicone and then stuffed into that tubing, that white tubing, which is basically just drip line tubing. That's pretty solid and hard. And then it just flips right onto that Venturi valve the way I've printed it and designed it. So so I've turned it down too much. You see it's just barely sputtering now. We're getting a few let's open it up just a bit more here. Oops, we want to go counterclockwise. There we go. You can kind of see my reflection on my fingers trying to turn that baby. All right, here we go. Now we're getting them again. And with the lighting today, it's kind of nice. You can see right down into that dark tank. Again, not perfect, but definitely some microbubbles way out in the periphery here. But the fact that we're having so much popping and coalescing into large bubbles on top tells me that this isn't perfect. So we're going to keep on trying. I just want to give you an update where we're standing with V1, and I'll be excited to see where V2 goes next. Okay, stay tuned. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.